Here it is, our powder room. Made these wedges to get the mirror off the wall. It's held on there with probably an entire tube of adhesive. So if I gently tap these wedges from underneath and from above the mirror, just sending them in a little bit further each time, alternating top to bottom, it just gently pries the mirror away from the wall. Unfortunately, my camera drooped down here and we can't see the top of the mirror, but this worked perfectly to get the mirror off the wall without breaking.
Okay, so now we're going to tackle repairing this drywall. There's lots of torn paper, holes, and I'm really looking for a smooth surface. So thank goodness I watch a lot of YouTube videos by the Vancouver carpenter. He has just an amazing talent with drywall, and he has some great instructional tips on there on how to tackle this. So I'm going to scrape off all the loose paper, plug up any holes, then I'm going to seal everything with this bin primer, okay? And it's a shellac based primer. And in one of his videos he says this is incredible stuff. It dries really quickly and it's going to prevent any bubbling once we do a skim coat of some thinned out mud on top of what we've primed, okay? Trying to cover up these areas where the paper has come off. So let's get busy on that. And now it is time to add our shellac based primer for some quick drying action, filling up the damage to this wall to make it nice and smooth. All right, so my bin primer, this shellac based primer, has had a chance to dry, but you can see some of the areas are a little bit deep. This one was where the wall was bowing out and they had the backsplash for the old counter here. And I think they must have just carved away this wall a little bit to get it to sit flat. So I'm gonna fill this in with some DAP, Dry Dex, just really some quick drying spackle, just to kind of fill these low spots. And then I'm gonna thin down some drywall mud to do my top coat and really just sort of feather everything out a little bit wider and just fill in some of these areas where the paint has peeled off. Now to try some thin down drywall compound. Let's spread this on. I can try and feather it out. All right, now that my skim coat has had 24 hours to dry, I'm going to use some 320. This is the Abernet, so the whole thing is a mesh. And when I put that on here, there are no holes to line up, and it really is going to give excellent dust collection, which I think is really important when you're creating all this fine drywall dust. So I'm going to have it hooked up to my extractor, and I've also turned the speed all the way down to #1. So I really just want a gentle sanding on these walls just to remove any of the ridges, because I am not an expert with those trowels. So there are a few ridges, but I really believe that it's going to come out looking great with a little bit of sanding, and then I will prime it and paint it, and hopefully you won't see any of those nasty spots where the paper got pulled away from the drywall. All right, let's get at it. Just putting up the plastic sheeting to protect the wall now. I'm going to paint the sides. If you've never tried this stuff before, it is amazing having the plastic sheeting attached already to some painter's tape. You can get it in different lengths, and this stuff is 24, and you just pull it out. You can see it's got a little bit of static cling, and it will stick to the wall. This is 24 inches and the wall is almost 36. And so when I put some on the other side and bring it across, I'll tape it together and make sure this wall is staying protected from the color that's going to go on to the sides. So they also sell these handy containers, and it's got a serrated metal edge here to allow it to cut. So it goes in, you pull down, cut it. It's amazing stuff. You might want to check it out. Links down below. I have this lid from a Rubbermaid bin and an old towel. Let's go. Why carry a toilet when you can drag it? Practicing where these tiles are going to go. Doing a little dry fit with these tiles first to figure out what our pattern is going to look like. Ideally ending up with a solid line there and at the threshold. I want to use this metal edge as a transition. And where we got a little chip out.